Hello!
Hello!
It's live! Although very possibly now people are watching the adverts that they have to watch to get to the thing. I don't know if people see it instantly. And there's going to be lots of clattering because I haven't taken my cufflinks out, which means they're going to clatter on the desk. Sort of background clatterage. Tappy tap, 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 tappy tap. Hello, Moog. You can see and hear me.
Yes.
Excellent.
Can you hear me? Hear me, Moog. No.
The occasional arm in shot.
Look. It's a unicorn pen.
What? Cufflinks are posh. Get me with my posh cufflinks. How else does one attach one's cuffs to themselves?
If it is not with a link.
Well, quite. Get buttons like a regular human? I think not. Cufflinks. They make one feel both simultaneously gentlemanly and professional. No, the super glue is spoken for. Very much spoken for, as is the PVA. No. The cuffs are the domain of the cufflink. Although every pair I've ever had, except for this one, are broken.
Which ones are they you've got on now?
I bought these when I went to a circus in what's the place called in Switzerland? Zurich. I went on holiday to Zurich, and I went to the circus
with your mum and dad.
And I bought these to wear on that trip because I wanted to look smart. And the braces. Actually, no, I had the braces. I didn't have the braces, but these aren't the braces I wore. I had different. Anyway, that's like, still got my pen in my pocket from work. That's handy. Need that as well. Cufflinks are one of the very few jewelry accessorizey things that are generally and generically acceptable to the modern chap. It's sort of none of this sort of earring bling and all sorts, but cufflinks. Oh yes, that's how one can decorate oneself. Aha! And you bought me some demon skull cufflinks one year. They were amazing until they broke.
I don't know what you do with them.
They just snapped. You also bought me some Thor cufflinks. They arrived broken. That was mortifyingable, wasn't it?
Mortifyingable.
Yeah. They arrived like this. I'll get them replaced. I'm like, okie dokie. Like, it's too late to get another set.
I totally forgot.
Yeah.
I totally forgot.
No, you did. No, you did. It was just, it's like one of those things with presents, isn't it? That you get them, and then it arrives and it's either wrong or it's damaged and there's not enough time to go back around the loop again. I do have a tie pin for this as well, but it's not a pin, it's a clip. And the thing with ties, right, is when you've got a beard like this, no one notices whether you're wearing a tie or not. You can just say, why aren't you wearing a tie? You say, I'm wearing a bow tie. Oh, right.
Oh, Moog, get you. You see, I knew Moog would have a tie pin.
Gold and ruby studded tie pin.
Nice.
I
just knew it.
Excellent. I don't know why that conjures up images of a furry top hat and cane as well. Gold and ruby studded tie pin. Very nice. So it's a Tuesday. It's been an insane week at work and an insane day. And I have absolutely no idea about anything. I'm even struggling to know where I am and what my name is. So today is going to be an interesting ramble. Sorry, Toby. Oh dear.
This is turning into a typing gate You should all put pictures of you typing onto Discord. I'll judge the best one. Stick them all on there.
I found with owning multiple ties that I'd wear them all once, then just wear the favorite one until it wore out. So, sort of, I think I need to own a black tie for somber events and then a favorite tie. Oh! We have a big block of green. Super chat from Make the Machine. So, conversation from last night's hobby time chat. Is the Emperor actually a chaos god drawing power from mankind whilst fighting in the great game? Very possibly. The thing is that for all the big Emperor type, all the big sort of what's the big answer questions, they will absolutely never answer them because partly it removes the mystery, because what most people like is mystery, so they can make their own theories and interpretations, but also it would alienate more people than it pleased. That's it's the old adage, an integrated transport policy is in everyone's interest apart from the minister who creates it. 1 vote won, 10 lost. Don't know if anyone gets that reference. Sort of contemporary 1980s politics reference there. Political reference. So you see, this is a thing. I was having a conversation with, well done, that Kevin. Absolutely. Good man. I'm very impressed. And Garfield the Fluffy also typing at the same time as Kevin, presumably. Yes, good ear. I was talking on Friday to Gambit, and we got very sidetracked from our game. Had a game with Gambit on Friday. It was such a hilarious game. We were laughing our socks off pretty much the entire time. We had a brief interlude in the middle to talk about Star Wars and Game of Thrones. And we discovered that when he and I play, we follow Parkinson's law of gaming. We had tried to keep the game down to 1,000 points so he could be home early because he had to go to a kiddie's birthday party the next day. But for some reason, 1,000-point games expanded to fill the time it would normally take to play 2,000. So, yeah. But one of the things we discussed, and this is my personal theory, why, and I don't know. In fact, I'll not mention the specific show because I'm sure it will start flame wars. However, one of the things that people, when you have a big, successful, really suspenseful series, what tends to happen is everyone starts from the same place, and then it all sort of fans out from the beginning as you get multiple series, and you have different plot arcs and different threads, and everyone has their own theory or pet idea about what is going to happen or what should happen or what might happen. As you get towards the end and things start to converge, many of those theories are sort of cut off and chopped down. And when you're getting right to the very end, there's very, very little mystery left. So people aren't able to enjoy it with their imagination. They're enjoying the experience, which is why I think the ending of series tend to divide people, because when you're in the middle of something, anyone can imagine their own ending. Anyway, also in a break from tradition, I'm not drinking Diet Coke this evening. Well, not yet, anyway. There's some more here. I'm on Tango Dark Berry today. I've been tangoed. Looking out for an orange person to hit me in the face. Maybe. Don't worry, I'll be on to the Diet Coke in a bit. Just a bit of variety. So, the former hashtag not a sponsor. No, well,
Mind you, if they want to jump in.
Diet Coke's not my sponsor either.
If Tango want to jump in, feel free.
And Moog makes an excellent point, which I don't think would probably make the question list. That is exactly why Firefly was so good. It got cut down before it could get ruined. Because the person who made Firefly, has a history of doing a really good first series, then a cracking second series. The third series was all right. Then from 4 onwards, dross. So he never got to murder it. But yeah, that's why Firefly was so good and remains so good. And such a tragedy in our world. I digress. So we would be following the normal procedure. Thank you.
Yeah.
The normal procedure. You all right there?
You think I've lost a pee?
You've lost a what?
Nothing.
The peas we ate. You've lost one.
Yeah.
But it's nearby, is it?
It's very nearby. Yeah.
It's very nearby.
Yeah.
No comment. Oh wow! Yes, Tin Jones, welcome to level 2 exclusive content.
Welcome.
It has been a long time since I've had to put a lobster on my head. But lobster, yeah. For those who don't know, I have to for an undeterminate amount of time, I choose to put a red lobster on my head when someone joins.
It's a minimum of an hour.
It is not. Excellent. So yeah, so there's no specific ramble subject tonight because I haven't had the brain power to think of one or hold a thought that is really that coherent. Because honestly, my brain's taking such a beating at the moment. It's not particularly stressful, but it's relentless. And my anxieties put me in fight or flight a couple of times throughout the day. So I'm like, okay, grounding techniques. It's just a super busy time at the minute. And it's all on me. It's an I. It's an I. Yes, Tin.
Oh, is it Yestin? Oh,
yes.
Sorry.
I only know that because I went to university with someone called Yestin, so I'm familiar with the name. It's
Moog, is that really true?
Kind of.
That's disgusting. What if it went in the mouth?
Well, it came out of their mouth. They don't excrete the same way humans do.
Out of their faces.
Anyway.
Ew. No. Not feeling that. Disgusting. Dirty lobster.
Yes, so Gambit and I had this game that we did play on Friday. And that was really good fun. I can't even remember what we played. Yes, I can. Gambit brought his Death Guard. And I played... Please do. I played my Imperial Guard. And I used some units that I painted about a year ago, but haven't used before. And that was a really good, fun game. I'm very much looking forward to putting that out. To the extent that I had got down mentally to put it in the members lounge, but I actually think I'm going to put that one up on YouTube. I think it's a really nice game to play, and hopefully a nice game to watch. What else? So filmed a bunch of videos at the weekend. I did an unboxing video, which I can't tell you about, but there's an unboxing video in the queued up. I did a review of this book, which I put out on Sunday because I didn't manage to get it done before the usage date. This Horus Heresy version of Aeronautica Imperialis. I mean, it's nothing particularly different from the Aeronautica Imperialis game itself. Oh, sorry, my head's sweating. It's far too hot for a plush lobster on the head. It's nothing particularly different. I mean, the basic thing is that it's all the rules in one place. That's one thing, and it's there's an upgrade. There's an upgrade for each legion in there. Everything else is more or less as was, but it's got a bit of a story in it and some bunch of missions and yeah. Shameless. So make the machine using his membership for 23 months. OMG. Shameless plug for Paul Fest 3 on the 27th of October in at Tabletop Events. If you're a channel member and you want to meet up with other channel members and throw some dice whilst I'm loitering in the vicinity going, oh, that looks so cool, and tell me about this. Sorry. So professional. Still no sponsorship. Oh, that's the stuff straight into the vein. So yeah, there was that. I mean, yeah, it's basically just normal. It's a reason to use the Imperial planes against the Imperial planes, and there are some gaps in it because it doesn't introduce anything new because it doesn't include some of the larger. I have trouble with the names. I think it's Stormbird is the big brother of the Thunderhawk. It doesn't introduce those, and they were a big part of the heresy from that perspective. So it's not a big thought through thing as such, but it's nice. And if you're playing heresy, it's a nice little way to have a bit of a game linking thing, I reckon. If I'm talking about it now, I'm probably supposed to say GW sent it me for free. So GW sent it me for free. What else? A couple of other vids that are various reviews. What else? Tell me about your week, Crimson.
I have been away. I've been to Scarborough for my niece, Neve, who people do already know, was 12. And we went to Scarborough and had a lovely time this weekend with my sister, who is listening now, actually. So I'll say hello,
hi, Rachel.
With her husband, hello, Mark. And obviously the lovely, gorgeous Grace, my other niece, are watching tonight. So we've been to Scarborough, and that's just about it, really. I feel like it was in quick succession. I went from camping to Scarborough. So it's been a holiday. But I've got to fit it all in because I've got a job. So I've got to fit it all in before I start working. That was me. Very boring. Well, very boring for you, not very boring for me.
I made a discovery the other day when I was counting out your demonettes and getting them ready for you to paint, because you're going to be following on with a new scheme now, aren't you? So we said the ones that you started on, let's strip them back so you can start afresh to match to the new scheme.
Mm-hmm.
So I got them all out. Nitromorsum stripped, not Nitromorse, that would have dissolved them. I thought, God, that's a blast from the past when I used to use that on metal models. Bio-stripped them, scrubbed them, put them out.
They've got limbs falling off or anything.
A few came off. I glued them back on. But it happens when you strip paint. And I was moving them out of the way for a game, and I was like, okay, yep, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm like, oh, it's the Herald. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If one of them was a herald, there should be 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Go back upstairs. This is like days later. Go upstairs. Go to the box I got them out of. No, they're not here. What about the other? Oh, it's hidden with the other things. I had to strip one model. Like, this feels like it's so much overwork for one model. Strip that, respray that. The other thing in the Horus Heresy Imperialis book is there's a stat line for a Custodes plane in there, which is nice. It's a big plane, lots of points. Big plane, a lot of points. Excuse me. Oh, one moment. So the other thing, which is super exciting, is the first public episode of the Thondia campaign went out on Monday, which really excited about. Where the Stormcasts start to come into the story, and yeah, it's nice to see people watching it and people liking it and thumbs upping it and so on. So yeah, that's good. That's good. 2 more episodes to go. Ooh. I will point out to people now, whilst we were filming the very last episode, Mick the Machine was almost medically dead. He was that tired. Like, so if you prodded him, he would have fallen backwards. Oh, Dr. Hibbert. Oh, we were all shattered when we did that. Great days. What else has happened? I think that might be it.
I don't know if we had any comments about the winter swan.
Haven't posted it yet.
Ah.
I was waiting to talk to you to tell you when I was going to post it, and you were on holiday with no signal. So I thought I'll post it when you're back.
All right. Okay.
Let's have Cadfile member for 23 months. Love my relic hunting. Thanks for putting them into AOS. You're very welcome. Have you found it in the first 2 videos yet? Because the first 2 Thondia videos, because it is on every Thondia table. I love that. I can't believe you found it in that skull. And that there's a big beastie on the table. Yes, Tinjo asking, is there a link to the Discord, Paul? Can't seem to find it. Yes, if you go on. Actually, it's I probably need to refresh it. It will work, but it might take a little bit of finding. If you go onto YouTube and go to the community tab and keep scrolling down, because it's on there. It's on there somewhere. There's a link that says Discord link, and that should take you straight to it. It's just what I probably need to do is I probably just need to do another one to bump it up near the top. But if you scroll for long enough, you should. It will be there. If you still have trouble with it, there's on my homepage on the YouTubes. If you go to like the About section, there's a contact thing on there. So if you still struggle with it, press the contact button and just tell me you're still struggling with it. I'll get you a link directly. Hey, it worked. Sorry, I just saw the Discord bot pop up and say you joined the Discord. Excellent. How are we for questions?
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know whether I'm saying this right. Is it Atu?
I'm not sure.
A2? A2? Anyway, do you think 40k is in a good place at the moment? Ooh.
Yes and no. I think for the last 12 months, give or take, 40k has been in a pretty bad place. The last 2 codices I have read have picking my words carefully. The last 2 codex books that I have read have felt much more playable and accessible than the previous half dozen that I have read. So I think Chaos Space Marine book is the Chaos Space Marine book is significantly better than a number of the books that came shortly before it, because it is not so. If you compare it to Imperial Knights, the amount of, and Chaos Knights for that, the amount of housekeeping and cross-referencing of rules required to play both of those codices, not to mention the Eldar and other things that are not too distant. They make my brain hurt to play and need so much admin. Chaos Space Marine book really doesn't. It's you get your head around some of the basic stuff when there's not a huge amount of it, then you get your head around your Legion stuff, and then you can play. I found that much, much more pick-upable than a number of other codices where I've had to really spend time working stuff out. When I did my review of the Eldar Codex, it took me about 3 weeks to actually get to a point where I thought I could film it. So I think 40k is moving to a better place. And if the direction of travel remains the same, I think it will be in a much better place in 12 months, 18 months' time. The unfortunate thing for some players and people like myself is the books that were written during the monstrously complex era, before they sort of steered the ship away from that, they're going to need a refresh before they're really serviceable again. And as such, a lot of armies will be mostly parked for me. So I'm guessing I've had a few really good games of 40k over the last sort of month, whereas I hardly played it at all for 3 or 4 months before that. And I found if I'm playing the right people, I can still have fun. And if I'm playing with and against the right armies, I can still have fun, which is good. Hit me.
The colour was brown, which is a fantastic name. I love that name.
That's a name?
It's a name. Is Paul watching House of Dragons or War of Rings?
Paul is not watching either at present. That's partly to do with my mental health. Partly to do with wanting to binge them rather than binge a series, rather than watch it 1 week at a time. I'm torn a little bit, really, because you watch them a week at a time and they do last a long time. And you're never tempted to stay up till 2 a.m. just to get another couple of episodes in. But equally, I mean, I binge watched the second series of The Witcher in a single day. And I was gutted because the next day I was like, I want to watch episode 2 now. It's like, no, those 12 hours were the whole series, Paul. And I'm like, no, that was episode 1. I watched it in one day. It's episode 1. Episode 1. But it wasn't. It really wasn't. So no, I mean, I can't put my finger on why I am reluctant to watch the Game of Thrones prequel, but I am, and I don't know why. And what I need is someone to go into my brain and work it out and come out and tell me, because I have no idea.
Should I go on?
Yes, please.
Okie dokie. What do you think about Winter's wacky theories about Primarchs? And that's the colour was brown too. I have to say it again.
Sorry, the colour was brown. I'm not familiar with Winters' wacky theories with the Primarch, so I can't comment on them.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know the theories. I can't.
I'm sure somebody will fill us in a minute. Okay, so Atu says, played a 2K game of Horus Heresy.
Horus Heresy.
Horus Heresy, my first game ever last weekend, and he had a blast.
Awesome. It's really good to hear that people are enjoying the games.
Mick the Machine. This is Mick the Machine, Mick.
Mick the Machine.
Mick the Machine.
Okay, what he said.
Are the last 2 Thondis bids going public, or is it members only?
Members only.
Members only.
What I used to do was put the first episode in public. A lot of people do this. Put the first episode in public and go, here, taste this. You want more? Sign up. And the rest of it's going to be, the rest of it is members only. But of all the games in the Thondia campaign, the one that felt like most of a spectacle was Game 3. And it actually kind of worked. And it kind of worked because there were 2 story arcs meeting together at the end. So I thought we'll do the public one as episode 3, because you don't actually need to have seen the first 2 episodes. And if you want to see the Snorters plot arc, you can join those. And if you want to see then how the Lord Imperatant does, then you can watch the other 4 and 5. What's this?
It's a gifted. We love a gifted.
Oh, yes, Tin Man. Thank you very much. Ever so generous. 5 gifted memberships.
Oh, that's so kind.
That's really nice. Thank you.
Oh.
I don't know how people take them up.
He might have got 5 people in mind. I know when.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
What a guy. Aww. Okay, so Mick has another comment. So we 100% need a narrative rule set for 40k, wrote and played and tested by narrative players, not tournament players.
Agreed. I agree. You I used to work in pharmaceutical research briefly, and one of the rules and regulations around pharmaceutical research is you test the drug on the people it's intended for. So if you need to give it to blonde-haired people, then you must test it on blonde-haired people, because there are going to be some genetic traits associated with it that may not manifest if you don't test it on the target audience. The game production is no different.
Oh, that's how you do it.
I am certain that competitive players wouldn't want me playtesting a competitive system because I wouldn't get it right. I wouldn't get it right. So why would you get competitive players to test a narrative system? Crazy.
So that's how you opt in. So you click the present icon for membership. So to take one of the gift.
That's nice.
I know. Thanks, Kev. I feel like it's just me that does it. Smash that like button. We need you to smash the thumbs up button. Thank you.
Sanguinary Guard. If you scroll up, it's about half a screen up. It's a big green box that says 5 gifted Say Hi Paul memberships. I imagine it's that you click on.
Oh, Sanguinary Guard can't find the present. Mick has smashed it. You can always rely on Mick.
Yep.
What a lovely man.
Does what it says on the tin.
Always rely on Mick. So Aaron 582 Railways says Paul, Winters and Liam to write the 10th edition. Whoa. Get ready. The touch paper.
You'd probably get a good blend of open narrative and match play with that. Who knows? GW is big multi-million pound business. The way they do it is based on business strategy, not what a few guys in their garages think is the right way to make a game. So I choose to believe it's all very well thought out with business strategy in mind. I choose to believe it. Next.
That's it for me at the moment.
No.
For right now.
That can't be right.
I'm just gonna have a look at Discord in a minute.
Brain.
I need another pair of hands.
I'll look at Discord.
Oh, you go for it then.
Yeah. Live stream topics.
Oh,
okay.
What about if Paul, Liam, and Winters clubbed together and created their own tabletop gaming system? Go on, Mick. Oh, why? Why would you do that?
It wouldn't have, because the amount of time, effort. It's not. There's a reason 40K is so popular. It's because the IP is amazing. That's an interesting one. Never say never.
No, never say never.
I didn't say never. I said, oh, that's a big one. Okay, so there are some questions on Discord. The first one I will read out and then not answer. The Sanguinor asks, thoughts on the Demon Codex? I can't say.
Oh, am I kicking you?
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's all right.
It's because when you're in your other chair, right, I always put my foot on the thing and you're not in your chair, are you?
No, I'm levitating.
So I'm like reaching for the thing.
It's all right.
But there isn't one.
You're barefoot and I'm booted, so you can rest your feet on me as much as you like.
Could even design your own models. I'm loving that. I love that.
Did I answer this? So, yes, thoughts on the Demon Codex, I am not able to say. Cadfile Relic Hunter, when do you feel 10th edition will be out? I'm going to say June next year, is my guess. Because the new game slots are normally over the summer. and the codices are about running out. So I reckon we'll probably see the Guard Codex this year, then a gap of about 4 to 5 months, 3 or 4 months, then the hype for 10th will start to increase. They seem to have slowed down. This might just be a little. This might just be a perception that I've come up with, and it might not have any basis in reality, but it feels to me like they've slowed down with all the campaign supplements that aren't really campaign supplements. They are things the rules, taxes. So they feel like they've got slower. So what I'm getting at is it doesn't feel like GW are churning out the supplements quite so quick. So I think they'll leave a discrete gap between the end of the last codex and then they'll probably do loads with AOS for a few months. Then it will be start the hype about 10th. But the codices that are released at the end of an edition are normally written in parallel with the next edition being written. So I would imagine that the next 2 to 3 books are going to be indicative or written in such a way that they are 10th ed compatible. So to the point about come on, brain, you can do it. Get it over the line. To the point about the mileage out of the Guard Codex, whilst it's written at the end of the edition, it should be perfectly compatible with 10th, I would expect.
Are you ready for another question?
If you got them.
Okay, so Garfield the Fluffy. There was an idea that floated a while ago about crossing game systems for a campaign, e.g., Kill Team or
Aeronautica.
Then 40k has there been any movement on this, or is it still maybe for the future? Question mark.
It's still maybe for the future. It is a good idea. It requires a level of coordination that I am currently not capable of. So that's why it's maybe for the future. The brain is giving a massive chunk of its time to the man at the moment, and the man is taking its pounds of grey matter.
Okay. We got Immortan Joe. So what's your favourite class in any RPG and why? And for me, it's Paladin.
Paladin. Surely that should be anti-Paladin for you, Joe. So I have a tendency to play some kind of fighter caster, and it comes from my live roleplay days where I very much enjoy the fighting. Not good at scouting. I am not built for scouting. Not built for scouting. And really enjoy a good pagger. But I lack the physical skills to be able to do very well at it. So the ability to, if someone's really knackering you up, to sort of trip them or entangle their feet or halt them or whatever, invaluable. my get out of jail cards. I enjoy fighter casters. So I have a tendency to lean towards that in all roleplay systems because of my grounding in live roleplay. Because live roleplay was the first kind of roleplay I ever did. Now, I didn't go from tabletop to live. I started in live. Then what's this tabletop stuff? Equally, I'm going to disagree with myself now. Healers are the other thing I have a particular liking for. I used to put my other online moniker before Say Hi Paul was Bro Carl, and that's one of my longest standing live roleplay characters and one of my pseudonyms. Brother Carl, it's concatenation of, because he was my as a purist healer. Take a vow of life to preserve all life, which also meant that you went absolutely ape on undead, but you were fragile as heck. But I used to really like the when I wasn't physically up to the fighting so much, it let me step back and intellectually sort of assess what was going on and where things were needed and listen out and actually contribute towards the collective success rather than the actual killing. And that also carries through into roleplay. I like being a healer. The character I've played most of on tabletop is it's a character called Needles that I play in an ongoing Shadowrun campaign, and amongst other things, that character is a former army combat medic. So the ethos of a squaddy, but also the actual sort of medic. Someone goes down, you go over to help them.
Or in his case,
Ixnay on the Ugstray, okay. On the YouTubes, yay. Let's just say there's a reason he's called Needles. I had to choose my words very carefully with that one. Yeah, bit of a sociopath. Was that the end of that question? Did I answer it all?
I think so.
What's the next one?
Okay, so this is Sorcerer Dave. So he's going to chuck in a non-40k question. So is there anything major you feel is missing from the Age of Sigmar narrative world? Or is there anything you'd like to see added other than Chaos Dwarves?
Well, the answer is obviously Chaos Dwarves. But we covered that last time. Yes, but I do have hopes that they are adding it. So if you read the books, the things that are one of the most common are the free peoples. So the free guild armies, the Ironweld, the Duardin dispossessed, but mainly the difference in the people between the Azurites and the Unhomed. The Azurites and the Reclaimed. So the regular human population of the mortal realms, of 7 of the mortal realms, are either Azurite or Reclaimed. Potted history, the Age of Chaos kicked Sigmar in the shins, and in order to survive, Sigmar retreated to the realm of heavens, Azure, and locked the doors. And the other 7 mortal realms got overrun by chaos. In those mortal realms, there are a number of people who survived that period of time through various different reasons. Now, if you look at the story set in Gur, the indigenous people, the Reclaimed, are savage and visceral. In Shaiish, they have all kinds of traditions and superstitions around the warding against spirits. Yeston Jones, super chat. I like you, Paul. I could see you are a fellow follower of Hashut. Oh yes. We were talking about this last time. Sign me up for all that Hashut stuff. Love Hashut, although I don't want to turn to stone. But if I do, I would want to walk around on a steam piston engine leg feet thing. Totally. And like breathe volcano fire and stuff. And yeah. Thank you, sir. So the folks who managed to survive the Age of Chaos when Sigmar built up his Stormcast armies and then opened up Azure and started invading the mortal realms to try and liberate them. He liberated them to an extent. The wars are still ongoing. You then have in the cities, you have Azurites and Reclaimed. So Azurites are the people who have basically come to settle in the mortal realms from Azir. And they are your sort of straight-laced, normal people. And your Reclaimed are all the peoples who survived God knows what torment throughout the Age of Chaos. So they often behave very differently and are depicted very differently, and they're often seen as savage and primitive, and there's a lot of friction between the two. But I would love a model set and a rule set for the Reclaimed from each realm and the Azurites being different. I think that would be brilliant. Next. Are there more?
I don't think they are at the minute. No, I've just checked Discord and there's nothing in there at the moment.
Oh, I think Mick the Machine has snuck in and put something in.
Oh, has he?
He has. It's to my detriment that I notice and read it out because I don't have an answer. Who is your favourite character in AOS? I don't have a favourite character in AOS, partly because I haven't listened to the books enough for the names of the characters to stick in my head. It's quite easy in 40k because you've got, in the Horus Heresy, you've got a couple of characters that recur again and again. You've got Grimaldus, you've got Person, you've got the Primarchs and some of the key Astartes, and they come up again and again and again and again and again. In AOS, they're not sticking in my mind in the same way. So it's tricky. I know you want me to say Gotrek Gurneson, or you expect me to say it. That is a very cool character, but I don't know. I don't really have a favorite character yet. Any more for any more?
Not unless there's any more pops.
No. I can see Cadfile Relic Hunter is typing, but I don't know what he's going to say. Oh, that light's bright.
Okay, there's one there from Joe. What are your thoughts on who would win in a Primarch bust-up?
Crusade era. Well, if it's one-on-one, Angron. Because he does. If it's a little bit more sensible, well, they sort of talk about the only people who could potentially put Angron down being Horus and maybe Sanguinius. I don't know. It's just so hypothetical without enough data. Cadfile Relic Hunter asks, what's your favorite computer games? Okay. Well, I have a number of favorites from different periods of time. My favorites. I always loved a game on my Atari ST called Conflict. This is incredibly sad. There were no graphics to it. It was a political simulator where you took control of a country with highly antagonistic neighbors, and you had to achieve political or military domination over them in a set period of time. I'm sure you couldn't make it today because it was about specific countries. And it would not be seen as politically correct. But I used to really enjoy that. But is that a favorite? No. Mario Kart has always been a strong favorite of mine. Mm-hmm. Every incarnation of Mario Kart, brilliant. Skyrim, I absolutely loved. Absolutely love Skyrim. I think I put in about 800 hours on Skyrim. Great game. And the Bioshock series. I adore the setting of the Bioshock series. I even enjoy Bioshock Infinite. I mean, nothing will beat Rapture, but Bioshock Infinite was good. And you'd have to go a long way to beat Dawn of War, the original Dawn of War. I'm a real-time strategy nut, but over the years, because I spend all my days on a computer, I tend to want to do that of an evening less and less. So I've not really done much PC gaming for a very long time. Also, I mean, gotta love Space Marine, but favorite. It's very similar start to a lot of other third-person shooters or first-person shooters, depending on how you're playing it. Mario Kart, Skyrim, Bioshock, Dawn of War.
JT asks who has had a membership gifted. He's one of the ones.
Excellent.
Have you read the Icon Snakes book?
Icon Snakes?
Oh, Iron Snakes.
Snakes.
Sorry, that's my writing.
No. I know my friend Stormshroud had read them and he built an Iron Snakes army. And so I know snippets about them and the way they operate. But no, I don't know much detail.
Sorcerer Dave, who would win in a fight? Gotrek or Angron?
Insufficient data. Right now, I would Well, Angron's a demon Primarch. Gotrek is, to all intents and purposes, the embodiment of Grimnir, Chaos God, Dwarven God. Gotrek spent 10,000 years in the realm of chaos and didn't kill him. I'm going with Gotrek. Any more?
I don't. Whether you do in Discord?
I don't in Discord, and I think that brings us gently towards a close, I think.
Yes. Okay.
Well, the first shout out and thank you is to my long-suffering admin assistant, Crimson. Big thank you, as always.
Thank yous for Super Chat, Mick and Yestin Jones. Is that how you say it? Yeah?
Yeah, yes, Tim.
Yeah. And Kev and Mick use their 23 months. Wrong time to yawn. Sorry, Mick and Kev. It really wasn't boring. Obviously, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. And as far as I can see, thank you, Mick. As far as I can see, we've got Andre, JT, and John Darville. So I think there's still 2 I think
they go away after the stream finishes.
Oh, do they go away?
I believe they do.
Oh, so if there is anybody, then don't miss out.
Get it quick.
13 tickets left for Paul Fest on the 22nd of October. Paul Fest 3. So speak to Mick. 13 left.
Get
That's
in the Discord.
really good.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mick. Thank you for all the questions, everyone.
Yes, thanks, everybody. Thank you to everyone who, to all the channel members and Patreon supporters and people who use my affiliate links and all that good stuff. Your contributions are invaluable. And on that note, take care, everybody, and we will see you all in the next one. Say bye, Crimson.
Bye, Crimson.
Bye.